Good morning, good morning. I am a little bit late this morning, but I am here. So, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Just stopped in this morning to give some motivation, to give some encouragement. Today, I'm going to talk about two things. And these two things are, I think as humans, it happens to us a lot. I've seen it with a lot of creators, a lot of people who are out there wanting to do really good things in the world, but they get blocked. And maybe you're thinking about starting to exercise or starting to just live your better life. And two fears. One is the fear of missing out, right? So you see everybody doing it and you want to do it too. But you really don't have a plan about how you're going to do it. The second fear is fear of starting small. And this really gets us because we see everybody and they're looking like they're far ahead, whether it be into fitness or caring for their health, or they just know what they're doing. They just look like they know what they're doing and they're so far advanced. And I really wanted to talk about these two things because these two fears actually they can hold us back. And as a nurse, I want to talk about fear and living in your fear. When love takes over and love leads, you can easily get out of the fear. And so going back to the fear of missing out, I started to learn Mandarin Chinese ever since I was like 13. And the fear of not being able to say it perfectly, speak perfectly, it got me. And these two fears really, it messed me up for a little while, where I think, just speaking real with you, I think these fears lie in the ego because we want to look a certain way. We want to present ourselves a certain way. And we don't want to come in looking like we don't really know what we're doing. And we don't want to sound like, we don't want to mess up, basically. We don't want to mess up. But there's something really deep about what I learned when I was trying to speak Chinese. And that's what I learned was actually what helped me to conquer the fear of missing out and the fear of starting small. And that's being okay, learning at your own pace, living at your own pace. What I had to do was be okay to fail, be okay to get it wrong, be okay for people to make fun of me, be okay for people to discredit me. That I needed to do that in order for where I was going. And I realized, after a couple of years, I would speak Chinese, and the Chinese people would say, like, because I was a nurse and I would call them on the phone and I would speak to them, and they would say, I thought you were a Chinese person. And I'm like, how could you think I'm a Chinese person? My Chinese is not perfect. It's not like my grammar. It's really sloppy, actually, because I like to say I speak ghetto Chinese because I like dialect, And it was really sloppy. And I didn't understand what was going on, why they think I was a Chinese person. And then I realized it's because the way I went about learning it with all the imperfections and just being myself and really trying to understand it the way I understand it. Actually, most of the Chinese people I was speaking to, Mandarin wasn't their first language. So they actually, they had to learn it. And so most of their Chinese was kind of sloppy, not sloppy, but dialect, So when I spoke, I fit more in with those people. So what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say this morning? I'm trying to say your imperfections is perfect for what you need to do. Nobody's going to say it like you. Nobody's going to break it down like you. Nobody's going to, you might start a diet, you might start an exercise program, you might start to, make healthy habits, healthy choices. You might start doing some meditation. You might start, just trying to get on a bandwagon and keep falling off. That right there is your strength, your ability to overcome, your ability to say, but let me figure out how it works, because there's somebody else waiting to figure out how you did it, to figure out, well, I want to start a YouTube channel. Well, how did you do it? Well, people want to hear that, right? But don't be so caught up in how things look to other people. Instagram is a hard platform. I felt really, really self-conscious coming on here. But love, what I have to say, I'm going to be talking a lot about healthcare literacy, but it's not just healthcare literacy, it's life literacy. A lot of times people are talking and we're afraid to say, I don't know what they're saying. I read books and I don't know what they're saying, and I have to break it down in my head to understand what they're saying. So I think that's what makes me a good teacher, is that I don't understand. I am kind of slow and I need to break it down. But in the process of me breaking it down for myself, other people can benefit. So my motivation this morning is, if you're thinking about doing something and you feel nervous about your self-confidence, like your self-confidence is really low and you feel like, well, I can't do it, I'm here to tell you that you can do it. And actually, humanity, we need you to do it. Don't worry about all the other people who are doing the same thing and look better and have a better setup or whatever. Don't worry about them. Let them do their thing. There's enough space for everybody's brilliance. There's enough space for everybody's perspective and everybody's experience. Stay in your experience. Stick with what you know. If you don't know something, you could say it, or you could go and grab somebody. Look at my YouTube channel, subscribe. But go grab somebody who knows. Go grab somebody who has experience and just waiting for the world or somebody to ask them about what they did and what they experienced. Go get it. But your perspective, your view of life and what you have to say it. And if you have to be on TikTok and dance it, sing it. But get your voice out there, because you know what? We need all the positivity. We need all the help to level up. We're disadvantaged. We're oppressed people, and we need help. So this is a cry for help. This is a cry to say, let your love motivate you. Let your love for me, let your love for other people motivate you to speak, to use your voice, to tell us how you do it, how you get over your challenges and your barriers, how you became healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I want to hear you, okay? So I know I keep this too long, but fear of starting small and fear of missing out, right? A lot of the fear, whenever you start talking about fear, it's ego. You're all up in your ego. And it happens because you got to show up in this world and people want to know what you're about, and that's all ego. That's all ego. But allow your love to drive you back into your humility and just share. Just think about all the people who need to hear what you got to say. And they ain't going to care about your hair not being perfect or your picture not being right. They want to listen to what you have to say. And you know what? The more you do it, the better you get. Okay, so that's my motivation today, and I will see you tomorrow.